Exactly how much better will the Titans get with Jadeveon Clowney on their roster this season, especially only being signed to 1 year and $12 million? Honestly, you could probably make the case that the Titans didn't even really need a guy like Jadeveon Clowney. You can make the case that he doesn't really sack the quarterback as well because he only gets 3 sacks per season, really. He last year only finished the whole season of 2019 with only 3 sacks. So, do the Titans really need him? But yeah, guys, right before we get into the video, make sure you guys subscribe. We're almost at 2K. And yeah, guys, let's get right into it.
Last up, baby, yeah, you know I'm in my body today. Hit that bitch, told her come through on a Saturday. Run it up, baby, yeah, the fast way. Greatness come with patience, so you know that I had to wait. Ooh, baby, yeah, you know what you do to me. And you know, bitch,
Honestly, I don't really think that Jadeveon Clowney is going to have that great of an impact on the Titans because when you really think of it, Jadeveon Clowney only really impacts the running game, and he's really only a running game type DN. JJ Watt on the Texans is more of the pass rusher. Jadeveon Clowney is not a pass rusher, so if he doesn't rush the quarterback, which is what the Titans needed and which is what they're looking for a DN to do, they're pretty much already set on like stopping the rushing attack because they have a good D tackle already and have a pretty good linebacking core. So what do they really need a DN that only stops the run to do? I think that they think that Clowney could possibly like try and stop or try to rush the passer, which just isn't the case because he only had 3 sacks last year. And 3 sacks is not a pass rusher. 3 sacks is just a guy that got in the backfield and sacked the quarterback 3 times. So, I mean, what are you really going to do with a guy that does that? That's basically just having another D tackle back there, really, because if he's just there to stop the run, what are you going to do? And how are you going to use that? So, it's going to be really interesting to see how the Titans really use that and utilize that during the course of the 2020 season. But my real question with Jadeveon Clowney is, will he be the same? Because if this isn't the same Jadeveon Clowney we saw 2 years ago on the Texans, I don't really know what you're going to try to do, because last year on the Seahawks, he wasn't really that effective or that competent, but you're still the same player. It's just he didn't play as high as a level that we really saw him play at on the Texans. So if he continues to play at the same level he was on the Seahawks, this is just a straight up waste of 12 million of salary cap for the Titans. I mean, what possibly could you have used that on other than a run stopping DN? And Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, come on. You could have used that in so many different areas. You could have re-signed Jack Conklin, which just got scooped up by the Browns. You could have worked on your line. You could have even invested in a better quarterback for this year than Ryan Tannehill. You gave Tannehill way too much money. So if you could have at least, like, if he didn't want to take a lower contract, you could have got a lesser guy just to get by this year, and then maybe, or you could use that money to try to trade up or sign some free agents. You could have tried to lure in Amari Cooper. There's so many other things that you could have done with that. You could have traded for, I don't know, Jalen Ramsey, because I know he's looking for a payday. You could have done so much more things and better things with that 12 million. Then use it for 1 year of Jadeveon Clowney, a run-stopping DN that does not get to the quarterback. I don't think that was the best move by the Titans front office, to be honest, because I don't know how Ryan Tannehill is going to pan out this season. He could be fine. He could be all dandy. But is he worth the money that he got? No, by no means is he worth that. And a run-stopping DN is not going to make barely any impact towards winning at all. I don't see it. Unless he turns into a pass rusher, I don't see him stopping or doing anything to really rush the passer and affect and help out his corners. Also, you could have used the $12 million to, I don't know, re-sign Logan Ryan, your best corner, because he may be a little overrated, but still, like, he's your best corner, and now you have a pretty large hole at corner, and you choose to fill it not by getting a guy that will lessen the time in the pocket by the opposing quarterback while pass rushing. No, you do that for acquiring a run-stopping DN that only got 3 sacks last year. So I don't know what they were thinking with that. That was a really bad move. But as far as him resigning next year, because he is on a 1-year $12 million, I don't think he's going to resign because him and his agent are just too high. Like, their asking price is way too high. Every year that they hit free agency, it seems like they always hit free agency. Last year they hit free agency. This year they hit free agency. Next year they're going to be in free agency. That's 3 years in a row hitting free agency and just getting 1-year deals. That's almost as bad as Kirk Cousins when he was on the Redskins, taking back-to-back franchise tags and still trying to get that long-term deal done. I don't think Jadeveon Clowney may not ever get a long-term deal done. He may just waste his prime years on just getting 1-year deals on championship contenders and just ring chasing, honestly. He could possibly be the DeMarcus Cousins of the NFL, if you honestly want to make that comparison, because DeMarcus team hopping, trying to get championship after championship, I don't really see it. Jadeveon, he's probably going to most likely waste his quote-unquote prime years, because I don't really think Jadeveon Clowney is that good. I think that he's extremely overrated. I don't know why he's so overrated. I don't know why he's not just referred to as a low major DN or a guy that didn't live up to expectations, but because I feel like his frame is so huge and he's still dominant on one side of the game, which is run stopping, that everything just goes out the window. His entire game just goes out the window aside from run stopping the rush. Yeah, because his entire game, it feels like, just goes out of the window, and all of his flaws just go outside of the window, and they just focus on this one thing that he's really good at, which is run stopping. Maybe he could possibly be helpful, but most likely that's not what you're going to use him for. You're going to use him for pretty much an every down DN, especially if you're investing $12 million into a DN. You don't want him to just be situational for run stopping, which he should be, but the persona, and this is why he's overrated, is because his persona is way too high. Like, what people regard him as is way too high to what he actually is, and that's why he's overrated. But yeah, it's going to be extremely interesting to see what exactly he can do on the Titans roster. It's going to be exciting. The Titans acquired a semi all-pro to me, because the semi means he's all-pro in one thing, not all-pro in another, borderline even in the NFL if it wasn't for his run-stopping ability. So, I mean, the Titans acquired a pretty big name. Not a big star, but a big name, and we're just going to have to see what they do with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I really want to know, because Jadeveon Clowney is extremely overrated. I have no idea what the Titans might do with him. But yeah, let me know. It's Jack.
Baby, yeah, you know I'm in my body today. Hit that bitch, told her come through on a Saturday. Run it up, baby, yeah, the faster way. Greatness come with patience, so you know that I had to wait. Ooh, baby, yeah, you know what you do to me. And you know, bitch, I ain't with that foolery. Team full of winners, so you gon' lose to me. Yeah, lose to me, hey, y'all. I'm in the store, I'm working, and bitch, I am back in my Birkin. All the gas, I'm swerving, and these people be plotting and murking.